frictions down the side. Only a couple of them, you don't need to do very many. So remember, we go up with a bit of pressure, but down is just a reasonably light pressure. Okay? Cool. Then we're going to do pulling, transverse pulling. So we're going to come from the inside of the leg. When you put your pressure on, try to get a little bit into the adductors, because you know the adductors are right through here. So you want to work in through the adductors, because in these routines we don't do a lot of work in the adductors. So it's all very nice to, and he's actually quite tight in through there, aren't you? So you just go all the way back up, and then you just come back down. And you can go up and you can come back down again. Or you can just go up and start back at the bottom again. You've got two choices there of doing it. Okay, then we're going to do some kneading on the inside of his leg. And this is where you've got to be careful with the hair. Alright? Because this is where you can map their hair up. Okay, now you're going to do circular compressions. My favourite. Interlock your fingers. Then you're going to rotate your hands around. How does that feel? So I'm actually making a circle with my hands so they don't actually leave his leg. He's got a bit of tightness in his legs. Alright, alternating thumb friction. So this is where, remember on the back we had to be careful where our fingers went. We've got to do the same thing here, that we don't want our fingers going up through the side of the towel there. So we're just going to do, and feel free, if you feel a little bit of tightness anywhere, you can do a little bit extra. Let him make an noise. And try to cover a fair bit of the leg. So obviously if I'm going to come up on the inside more, then I'm going to bring my hands across there. Yeah? Okay, we're going to do our sliding palm frictions again. Am I going good so far? Dan, am I going good so far?
Yeah, you're going well. Actually, I think you might have missed circular finger frictions.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Do the alternating thumbs again. Nick, sorry. So when you do the circular frictions, you can either have your hands on top of each other, or you can have your hands inside each other, or just slightly off each other, so that you can cover, because if you just do little ones here, you don't cover enough, especially when, not that he's got big legs, but when you've got someone with bigger legs. Come back, do the thumbs, and then we go to the palms. Okay, then we're going to do a knuckle up the side of his leg, which is actually working on lateralis. Yep, vastus lateralis. Make the fist soft. Don't go too hard, because if you do, you're going to put too much pressure on the leg. So the bottom hand has to hang onto their leg, and the top hand just comes straight up. Make sure your wrist is straight when you do this. Is that okay? And I just put my elbow against my body. It's not sort of hooked in there too hard, but just there for guidance. Anyone else know what's on the side here that I'm working over the top of?
RTV.
Which remember is a tendon, so we've got to get the muscles around and loosened rather than doing too much work on it. And then we're going to just do some effleurage. And that's the top of the leg. We're going to come down and do the bottom. So because the calf is smaller than the leg, you can actually afford to have your hands more in a C curve to do a lot of your work.
compressions, kneading to the side of the leg, alternating circular thumb directions.
Okay, so when you do your palm frictions here, because of the way the leg will move, it's actually better if you use your palms with your thumbs on either side of his leg. Okay, so it's exactly the same as what we did up here, but we're keeping our fingers around the muscle. And again, nice tightness going on through the calf here.
Kneading up to the side of the leg.
Okay, then we're going to knead. Again, be careful of the hair, so don't go too fast. Now with the kneading, you can get pretty much the whole calf done. Yep.
Alternating circular thumb frictions.
Okay, so up we go. Now, this is the middle of the muscle. So the gastrocnemius comes in here, and there's a nice little belly just here where the Achilles tendon attaches. And we're going to go up through the middle. All good. And then we're going to work our way around. So to the side and a little bit on the inside.
Circular compressions.
Okay, so interlock the fingers. This works really nicely on the lower leg. Just be careful at the top of it that you don't pinch their skin together, so don't actually pinch your palms of your hand together.
Shaped calf.
Okay, there's a couple of varieties of how you can shape the calf. You can either bring the leg up, and you can sit to him and me are a good height, because I'm only little and he's taller. So I can just let his legs sit here, and then I can just do this. But if you've got the other option where you've got a tall therapist and a short person, it doesn't work because their foot's sort of stuck in your waist or something. So you can do this. Or if you want to, you can do this. Okay. So there's a few varieties that you can use there.
Kneading.
Dressage. This is good for this.
Department.
All right, now I'm going to suggest to you that you wipe your oil off to do the department. So I need hands out with this. Don't stop. I'll just keep doing this. Okay, thank you. Again, wipe the oil off going downwards because it's just nicer for you. If you're doing this as a massage, it's going to have back and legs together. Do all your department together. Don't do the back department and then come down and do the legs and do the leg department. It just flows better if you do it all in one hit. Especially if you're trying to wake the person up to go and do their squat or whatever. Alright.
Éclairage.
Which I've done. I did that. Yeah.
Rotation.
Okay, so with the rotation, all we're going to do is make sure they haven't got a problem with their hip or their knee to do the rotation, because we do a few stretches and that in this routine, more the other way. So the hand is just basically above the knee, so his knee's not sitting in my hand so much, and we're going to rotate. Don't worry, girls, you'll be able to lift up their legs quite easily. Alright?
Traction.
Now, when you do traction, first of all, make sure they've got no hippie shoes. Because you don't want to traction someone if they've got hippie shoes. Also, make sure that if you traction one leg, you do both. Especially if they're coming with an even leg. Because otherwise you can send them in with an uneven leg. Yep. So I just put the towel around. Now you can either hold the towel here and pull. Alright, or you can lift up and pull.
After I arch the foot.
And now the fun begins because now we get to do the feet. Your feet are okay, not you? Okay.
Circular compressions around ankle.
Okay, so same deal as what we did up the leg, but we're going to do this now around the ankle. Yep.
Frictions over plantar surface.
Okay, so I normally pick the foot up and work with the foot up because I find it's a little bit hard to get and do them through here. Some people will sit down. It's up to you. These beds probably aren't very conducive to sitting down.
Deep finger
Tight
pressure.
through, he's tight actually through here. Cutting it.
Deep finger pressure.
And this is where you have to have really, really short nails. Because, I'm going to just move over a little bit and I'll show you this. So, I'm going to pull his foot together with my fingers and then I'm just going to move down the foot.
How does it feel?
Yeah, good.
Pain. It does look pain.
Yeah, and then you can just move the foot out. So I go down the middle and then open through this one.
Rotate and traction toes.
Okay, please use a towel when you do this because you've got oil on their towels. You may hear his toes crack.
Are we looking for that cracking or not really?
No one knows what it is. Department on foot.
Make sure you lift his foot up to do Tapomen. So I'm actually using almost the full back of my hand, but it's on almost on a diagonal.
Rotate ankle.
Rotate the ankle. We're going to put our thumb in between his big toe and the next toe. And then rotate. Something going on in there.
Yeah, it's quite good.
Okay, then we're going to do plantar and dorsiflexion or dorsiflexion, whichever way you want to do it.
Gently rock.
Gently. Just that gently rock.
Gently rock.
So he's going to do
And stroke.